Greetings, salutations, and today's short we are going to focus on the upcoming Jaws of Oblivion expansion, as noted by our background. Subtle, yes, I love it. So, I did think what we were going to do is go ahead and start by taking a look at the new mechanic, and then we're just going to rapid fire go through the cards. It's not going to be an in-depth review, but it's going to be something nice, short, sweet, and focused on Banelord. So, with that said, the new mechanic, Daedra and the Plan to Invade. This is on the Bethesda website. I'd advise it. Do we have a cat over there? I get distracted. It's late at night. I get distracted. So, text, invade. Pay attention to that. When you invade, if you do not have an Oblivion gate, you summon one in the right lane. Right lane being the shadow lane. Oblivion gate. 0-4, level 1. We'll get to that. Immune to silence. Permanently shackled. When you summon a Daedra, give it +0/+1, which is the level 1 effect. Well, if you play Invade again, and this is still in play, it goes to level 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, etc. Level 2, when you summon a Daedra, +1/+1. Level 3, your Daedra you summon cost 1 less. Still has the same +1/+1. It keeps that through the remainder. Then level 4 and above, you start getting keywords. Level 4, give it a random keyword. Level 5, give it 2 random keywords. After level 5, the Oblivion Gate gains 2 health whenever you get your invade, and your Daedra get an additional keyword. And as they say, that means you can get the gate up high enough that Daedra can get every keyword in the game. So, we're not going to scroll down and look at the cards. They've got a lot of the preview cards here, but we have this. So, we're just going to start going through these rapid fire. Black Soul Gem. 4-cost support. Ongoing, when a friendly creature dies, give a random creature in your hand +1/+1. Could be neat with a token deck. Could be neat in a couple other types of decks. So, Doomcrag. Telvanni Conscription, maybe. There's a lot of decks that'd be cool in. It's not really a build around. Are we going to get a Lat Cat? What are you doing? Sorry, I'm staring at a cat. Digress. Continuing. Quick. Determined Supplier. Breton. 4/1/4. Guard. Last Gasp. Gain max magicka equal to said creature's power. That means if you buff it with Divine Fervor and it's a 2/5, when it dies you get 2 max magicka. Etc. This card is really powerful. And honestly, I think we'll start seeing an uptick in banishes as well as things like Cloudrest Illusionist to lower its power to 0 before trading. Calm, lower its power to 0. Curses, reduce its power to 0. I say 5 out of 10 could see play in Banelord. Doomed Adventurer, Imperial 1/1/1/1. Last Gasp, random creature in hand, +2/+2. This does get summoned back by the Necromancer, the 3/3 Necro, that summons a 1-cost creature. So not the worst there. And is a total of 3 stats worth, but probably won't see a lot of play. Emperor's Attendant. This catches a lot of flack for buffing something in hand instead of buffing things in play, like the existing 2-cost 1/1 we have. However, the 1/1 being targeted means it can target your Necromancers, it can target your Unicorns. We've not talked about Unicorn yet. We're going to get there into why that's important. But anyway, decent in a rally deck, decent in any deck that has a way of buffing that and then can take advantage of the power going to a single targeted creature. Oh, speaking of things that get power when you give it power in hand, 5-cost Fated Wraith, Spirit, 1/3, Summon. Draw cards equal to Fated Wraith's power. So let's just say you play this guy onto a fervored board. So he's a 2-cost, 2/2. Give something in your hand 2 power. So now this is a 5-cost, 3/5, which you play onto a fervored board. So you have a 5-cost, 4/6, and you draw 4 cards. This has potential to try to reload for some of the decks that focus on supports and buffing their creatures. Also is legendary. Carrying on. Outland Patrol. Pretty basic card. 3/3/4. Last Gasp. Random creature in your hand gets +1/+1. It's good. It's not bad. It's not great. But it's not bad. Carry on. Unicorn. Oh, Unicorn. Legendary. 3-cost, 2/3, but this is what matters. Friendly creatures in this lane with less power than Unicorn have charge. Give Unicorn power. Then anything that's a 2-cost, or if you buff at 3-cost, or 3 power, you can give a lot of cool things charge. Synergizes very well with lethal, making many things into Vipers. 10 out of 10 will see play in Banelord. Will-O-Wisp. 2-cost, 3/2 drain. Cool. Blast from Oblivion. Action. Prophecy. Invade. Then deal damage to your equal to your Oblivion Gate's level to a creature. So now we're going to start the second theme of today's thing. Just add Mushroom Tower. Mushroom Tower, give your actions Betray. Not super useful here. You get an extra invade and get a little bit extra damage. But we'll get to the more useful things. Daedric Incursion. Draw a random Daedra from your deck. Invade. We're starting to see our invade cards come in. 3-cost isn't terrible. Drawing a random Daedra, it's still card draw. Maybe there'll be some Daedra tribal deck, not tribal decks. Decks that really want the tutor. I doubt it, but possible. Dremora Adept. 3/4/3. When Dremora Adept gains a keyword, invade. So you've got Mundustone. 3-cost, 4/3, +1 random keyword, invade. Is a blue legendary. Potentially using Manic Mutation and or other random keyword effects. You can do a fair bit of invading on this card, and it makes it into a fairly decent snowball. If she, Daedra have genders? If it's able to stick to the board. Agent of Mehrunes Dagon. It was brought up I was pronouncing it wrong. At the end of your turn, if you invaded, AMD gains +1/+1. Not bad, given that you could try to snowball with... Theoretically, you could try to snowball with invade in red. Being able to get immediate benefit from your invade, in addition to your actual invading, it's pretty nice. Forces of Destruction. 10-cost. Summon. Well, invade. Then summon a random Daedra, multiple random Daedra with a total cost of 10. It is highly likely off of that, you are going to get more invades. As a lot of the cheap Daedra have invade. Now just add Mushroom Tower. In my mind, and I've not statisticed this out, I think Forces of Destruction summons you 3 to 4 Daedra a turn. Because you could high roll and get an 8-cost. Well, you could really high roll and get a 10-cost, then you get 1. Or you could get like an 8-drop and a 2-drop. Or an 8-drop and 2 1-drops. Or 2 3-drops, 2 2-drops. So I think this caps out at 4. Or you could just low roll and get 1/1 scamps that fill the entire lane. But I think I'll be interested to see if you could force this. Like if there's only one spot available, does it summon the 10-cost Daedra? If there's 2 spots available, do you get a 5 and a 5, which would be 2 sowers? Or do you get an 8 and a 2, 3 and a 7? There's going to need to be some filling out on how this works. Also Mushroom Tower. Great Sigil Stone. 4 cost support, activate, invade. 3 uses. Last gasp, draw a random Daedra from your deck and give it +2/+2. I want to see if I can make a support mage that uses the support mage shell to trigger this multiple times and get 2 invades a turn. Just being like, yeah, I invaded twice. Oh, did you remove my Oblivion Gate? Okay, I invade twice. I have an Oblivion Gate level 1, level 2. And if they remove it, I can get a random Daedra. That's cool. And it gets +2/+2. Even better. I really want to see what this can do. Dromora Archer. 3 cost 1/1. Prophecy. Deal damage equal to Dromora Archer's power. So if you buff it, it does more damage. Solid in a Daedra list. If you've got your Oblivion Gate, it's a 2 cost 2/2 that deals 2 damage. Or a Prophecy that deals 2 damage. Cool. Invasion Party. Yellow's legendary. Yet another of Just Add Mushroom Tower. So you play it, 4 cost. Choose 3 times. Invade or summon a 1/1 Scamp. Invade, Scamp. Sacrifice the Scamp. Invade. Now you've got 3 invades on top of anything you already had. And then you can just Scamp, or you can get extra invades. It's glorious. Invasion Marauder. 3 cost 3/3. Summon invade. It's just an invade, solid invade card. Invasion Scout, solid invade card. Invasion Vanguard, 2/1/4, solid invade card. Which it's notable that 10 cost action, when I said cheap Daedra have invade, these are what we're talking about. Mankar Cameron. I butchered the name, I just know I did. But carry on. 4 cost 4/4. Whenever you play an action, you invade. All Oblivion Gates have +4/+0. They're still permanently shackled, but now your opponent has to trade creatures into them rather than getting free kills. I do not know what his alternate creature type is. Unique legendary. He's supposed to come in a pre-made deck. We shall see. Keeper of the Gates, Nord, 6/6/6. When you invade, you get a free invade. Cool. I think that's really nice. Mythic Dawn Acolyte. 5 cost 5/4. The end of each turn, if you invaded, deal 2 damage. This is up there for top theoretical premium art for me. I like the way this looks. Deal 2 damage because it doesn't say face or creature. Theoretically, it can be targeted. Maybe it's got use in the theoretical support mage I was talking about. Overall, I don't think it's that great. This is the Oblivion Gate you get to summon. We looked at that already. Oblivion Invasion. 0 cost, invade. If you're not playing an invade, and you get this from Surin Pawnbroker, feels bad. Occult Rite Master. Wants to be a pirate with Corsair ship. Summon, put a steel dagger in hand. When Occult Rite Master equips an item, invade. So you can do silly stuff with telekinesis or dumping multiple daggers onto him to get a bunch of invades in a turn before playing out your creatures. Potential combo decks to be had. Sigil Keeper. Summon, invade, then give your Oblivion Gate a ward. Seems good. Makes it harder to trade into. Crisis Begins. 6 cost, destroy a creature, invade. Cool. Unexpected Arrival. Invade, then summon a random Daedra with cost equal to your Oblivion Gate's level. Another Just Add Mundus Stone card, because you can invade, summon a random Daedra, 1 cost. Let's assume that's a Scamp, so invade. Or sorry, the 1/1 Invasion Scout. Sack the Invasion Scout, invade, you're now at 3. Then you get a 3 cost random Daedra. Cool. 3 cost, you got 3 invade. Which it could be the 3 cost invade Daedra, which could get you up to 4. Vulcanaz Mage. I have mixed feelings on this. 1/1/1 ward. Whenever the ward breaks, you get invade. Theoretically, you could reward it for invade synergy. I don't want to trade my wards and my value trades on invade, though. So, probably won't see a whole lot of play. But it is a 1-cost Daedra, so you could get it off that. Widow Daedra. When an enemy rune is destroyed, invade. That's one of the snowball red invade cards we were talking about. Our Thief Quest Giver. Not pronouncing that. Well, okay. Arenthia Gorilla. 3-cost, 3/4, lethal on your opponent's turn. Maybe good when paired with Skinned Hound or other ways of giving guard. 4 health means it doesn't work with East Empire Crafter. I think this would be much more powerful as a 2/5, but it is not a 2/5. So, sucks. Carry on. Blackwood Alchemist, 3-cost, 1/4. Gains +2 when you max magicka increases. So, play this in the Shadow Lane, turn 2. Play this in the Shadow Lane, ringed out on turn 2. Next turn, you've got a 3/4. Turn after, you've got a 5/4. Potentially gives Ramp some teeth, which could be fun to see. Blade Stalwart. Slay. Blade Stalwart gains power equal to her health. So she trades with a 1/1, she becomes a 7/4. So on and so forth. Could be really fun. I'm interested to see some combo decks that queue off of this. Blind Moth Priest, possibly the most interesting card for me in the entire set. 2-cost, 2/3, Imperial. On your turn, and I'm assuming in play, Blind Moth Priest glows while your opponent has a prophecy on top of their deck. Cool. Maybe combined with Steel Cat, the 3-cost Thieves Guild Shadowfoot, to be like, oh, they have a prophecy. I'll steal that. And then continue going face. Not great, but niche. Mythic Dawn Zealot, 2-cost, 2/2. If you invaded this turn, put a 1/1 scamp into hand. Cool. Brotherhood Vampire. Continuing the tradition started in the last expansion of giving vampires creature types. This is a Breton Vampire. 2-cost, 1/2, +1/+1 for each creature that died this turn. Another way to cycle with the typical Namira's Shrine, Doomcrag decks. Could be cool. Brotherhood Suspect. I don't think this card's great. Specifically because there's going to be a lot of executes and destroy cheap creatures. And when this dies, your opponent gets a completed contract. Last thing you want to do if you're aggro versus control is give control more magicka, even for 1 turn. So I think that last gasp is almost sufficient to convince control or convince aggro not to run this. There's enough 2-drops that just straight up answer it that it's too much of a problem. City Guard, 2-cost, 2/3, Prophecy Guard. Cool. Also an Imperial. Might go in our guard.deck. Dead Drop. I actually think this is a trash card. So, give a friendly creature, slay, put a completed contract into your hand. There are some decks this will be good in. Those decks are Market Assassin, where you want extra 0 costs, or any deck where you are wanting to play as many actions as possible. Because the problem isn't its ability. This ability is solid for a 0-cost card. The problem is, you are playing a card that gives you more magicka to play creatures you don't have because you drew Dread Drop instead. It is worth noting it does not move the creature in the lane. You only move if you were attacking a creature, similar to Serpentine Stalker. So you must have a creature target to shift. You can't move it and then rage. You can move it, bounce with another creature, and then Rage, but I don't think it's that great in most decks. Elixir of Potency. Yay, random keywords. Now in a support form. Flaming Breath. Oh, my Brassy Boys deck has been looking for this. Self-harm deck, deal 1 damage to everything. I have uses for this. So many uses. Fresh Start. So the other caveat is, so where I said you want a lot of contracts and actions, contracts can help you with Fresh Start, giving you magicka that you can use to play the 6 cost, draw 3 cards. Not a lot of decks that can run this will, but in ramp decks where you're quickly gaining magicka but your creatures are of less power early on, Fresh Start allowing you to refill and start over, hopefully you can pull that off. Giant Slaughterfish. I love this card. 4 cost, 3/3. At the start of your turn, all friendly animals give +2/+0. Animal Monk for the win. I love it. Among my favorite cards to be released. Lord of the Arena. Not unique. Red legendary. 11 cost, 8/8. Choose 2 creatures. They battle each other. Friendly enemy, doesn't matter. They battle each other. This is the first red answer to Spell Sword Control. And what I mean by that is Mirac, Euraxia, Mannimarco. Big swing plays that get 2 creatures on your opponent's side. You can just play a Lord of the Arena and say, Mirac, fight that. Euraxia, maybe you pick a lethal or something else it can fight and you get your creature back. Mannimarco, just throw it against whatever he summoned. This is a really good card and will help enable red control decks. Marauder Chieftain. I am going to assume this only triggers once and that Marauder Chieftains don't infinitely cycle because that would not be a 4-drop card. So I digress. Orc. Fits right into Orc decks. 4 cost 1/5. Give a creature +1/+0. When a friendly creature gains power, Marauder Chieftain also gains that much power. So really cool if you're playing play this, buff a creature, then play Orc Clan Captain to a full lane. A lot of cool synergies. Gives Orcs some extra burst. Solid body for trading. Mountain Lion. 3 cost 4/3. Summon, gain 1 magicka this turn. Cool. Way I had this described in our stream was, it's a 3 cost 4/3, the next card you play is 1 cheaper. Still nifty. You don't really want to play it on 3 unless you've got a good 1-drop. But it could find some use. Mute. This will replace Hush and Suppress in all self-silence decks. Because you get to silence 2, which is cool. Trusty Sword. Burst Assassin. Can now get more burst from random zeros. Wild Boar. Not getting cover is unfortunate, but I think some move decks will have some fun memeing with this. Oh, 2 cost 1/3. At the start of your turn, it moves and gains +1/+0. Dive Rockfall. Banish a creature with 0 power. Cloud Rest. Curses. This will go into my Empire Banelord deck I'm going to be making. Worldly Wanderer. 5 cost 3/5. Summon a support of your choice from your deck with cost less than Worldly Wanderer's power. Really powerful. Exceptionally powerful when buffed. Also benefits from things that buff stuff in hand. So like the 1/1 that we saw earlier. 5th Legion Trainer. Have that on board. Play him. Buff this. It goes up to 5. Play this guy. He goes up to 6. Pulls a Fervor for free. This card is extremely good. Also, it could buff Wax Wayne by just pulling a Moongate. Pulling any other cheap support that you want. Blades Defender. It's not really good. 3 cost 3/3. Give another creature +0/+2. I mean, it is 3/5 worth of stats. That's theoretically good. The +2 is nice, but the reason Skinned Hound is played isn't the +2. Skinned Hound is played because it gets the guard, which really helps it. This does not give guard. Blade's Flanker. 4/4/3, give a creature in the other lane +2/+0. Fits in Burst Assassin. And is common. Blade's Guardian. This will also go in our guard deck. 5 cost 4/5. Give a creature in the other lane +1/+1 in guard. Guarding both lanes is very, very useful. Miskarkan's Lich. 4/3/5, Skelly Boy. Choose an enemy creature. If that chosen creature is alive at the start of your turn, summon a 1/1 Risen Dead with guard in its lane. Cool. It's likely going to get its value. It's a decent card. Legendary Purple. Defensive Bruma. A new tool for control to get a bunch of guard. I don't think this gets played in a lot. I don't think you're really playing it for the +1/+1. I think that's just a nice bonus. Because yellow has enough +1/+1 bonuses that having to play high health creatures to get it really doesn't make sense. But because it has guard, we might play this in our guard deck. But we also might not because we have plenty of guards. Fingers of the Mountain. Alright, Mushroom Tower. Costs 1 less for each action you've played this turn. Deal 1 damage, deal 2 damage, deal 3 damage, all to a creature. If you have the monthly card from a couple months back, Renegade Magister, whenever an action does damage, the Renegade Magister does equal damage. So if that is in play, deal 2 damage, deal 4 damage, deal 6 damage. Maybe not enough to get it in play, but this is still a really solid card. And if you have Mushroom Tower, you get to do it twice, which is cool. Painted Troll, we'll get to that. Painted World. So, this is good. It'll help Unite. I don't think it makes Unite any special. But so we're looking at 12. Let's adjust this and start talking about it. 2 less for each attribute you have in play. Alright, let's assume we're playing Tricolor. All Tricolors have a cheap Tricolor card. Let's assume one of those is in play. So 2 less for each attribute, that's 3 attributes. So we're looking at 6 cost. If we have a neutral card in play, that's doable with daggers. So daggers or other easy to get neutrals. You could potentially have this as a 4 cost. Summon 2 Painted Trolls, which are 4/4 regenerate, and they get a random attribute. If you have Mushroom Tower, you can then sack it and play it again. Works really great with Thorana. I think this is a really solid competitive card for Tricolor decks. Dual color decks are going to have trouble triggering it. Maybe it enables Unite, maybe it doesn't. I don't think you need to play Unite for this to have a ton of value. Ultimate Heist. This is the card I'm most nervous about in the expansion. I hate cards that are, I play this, I win. I've had enough where I get down to 1 health, I've drained up to 10, but this card, deal damage equal to your opponent destroying their front rune. If you don't have a rune, it kills you. Let me repeat that. If you do not have a rune, this kills you. Aside from that, it's actually decent in like an Unrelenting Siege deck where you're throwing a lot of the Pilfer Cats around. Or in a Pilfer Monk where it costs 3 less for each time you've pilfered or drained. So you can get that cost down pretty easily. You get to destroy the rune, you steal the card that's drawn, and if it's a prophecy, you play it for free. That's just kind of cool. Stealing the card is nice as the card replaces itself while doing damage. It's also not unique. And not rare. Or sorry, not legendary. Unfinished business? 6 cost. Cost 3 less for each friendly wounded creature. Unsummon a creature, then you may unsummon a friendly creature. It's possible that you would play this in a self-harm deck. It's possible this could fit into the emerging red control that focuses on unsummoning. So a tempo red. We shall see. I'm not convinced. Who done it? I think it costs too much and does too little for you. If you're playing Fresh Start, you probably play this card. I think it does help with Telvanni, where you do have a lot of early creatures that you could keep sacking. And then you just sit on this until it's cheap to like turn 10 or turn 9. You just play this and you're like, oh, +2 magic, I'll be conscriptioning next turn. Oh, we'll get to that. Alright, so we got to do some scrolling here. Martin Septum. Every scout list will play this. Every scout list should play this. It's also in a pre-built deck, so you have no excuse for not spending the 500 gold and getting it. 4 cost, 3/7. At the start of your turn, you gain all unspent magicka from your previous turn as current magicka, not max magicka. And when you have 30 or more magicka, Martin Septum changes. And we'll get to that word, into a 30/30 Avatar of Akatosh. Now, why is change important? Well, you'll recall if you transform a creature, it can't attack. With Barrelzar's Tinkering, Mundus Stone. But what is another card that changes and can attack the same turn? So it would be functioning the same way. Start of your turn, little girl changes into a 5/5 Ageless Vampire with Drain. When Martin Septum changes into Avatar of Akatosh, it attacks that turn. Ow. Alright. We'll get to those others. Madrin Orion. I butchered the name. Dark Elf 4/4/4. Breakthrough. Your opponent summons a Blackwood Hoodlum in each lane. Blackwood Hoodlums. Last gasp. Give Madrin +2/+2. They're 1/1 bodies. So if you play this into the Shadow lane, there's going to be a Hoodlum there. You break through the Hoodlum. You get some extra damage. I think it goes very well with the Slay deck. Slay Ebonheart will probably run this. Not the Slay Ebonheart we currently know, but a high ramp one that focuses on Martin Septum or other ramp cards. And then just uses him as a solid body to continue trading. Gonna be pretty good. Hannibal Traven. After you play an action, Hannibal Traven learns it. Play all learned actions from your discard pile with Last Gasp. Mushroom Tower, Mushroom Tower, oh, Mushroom Tower. Oh, Mushroom Tower. Because Mushroom Tower puts 2 actions in the graveyard. So as long as I can get him in play and keep playing Mushroom Tower, we're going to have so much Mushroom Tower fun. Also, Singleton. If you can get him off on the same turn that you're playing Siege, or have him in play when you play Siege, getting a free Siege is cool. He's typically going to play with lower cost actions, though. He's a good card. Is a unique legendary. Joffrey. Summon, choose another friendly creature. Damage that would be dealt to that creature is dealt to Joffrey instead. It's useful for protecting your cards against damage-based removal. You could use this to protect an Oblivion Gate to prevent it from dying. I also want to get 2 of these in play. Yes, they're unique. I have to use duplication cards to have that. Get 2 of them in play. Then I want to play Ulfric's Uprising, and I want to have them select each other and just see what happens. Gray Fox. No creature type. 5 cost, 4/4. Summon, draw a card, doesn't say, so it's assumed of your choice. from your opponent's discard pile. Pilfer, you reveal a card from your opponent's hand. It's nice, it'll go in a green control list. Possibly a green Pilfer list. Umaril the Unfeathered. 6 cost, 6/3 guard. When he leaves play, that is banishing, that is unsummoning, that is sacrificing, that is trading. He summons to the other lane silenced. But it's like you could play him, Dark Rebirth him, you'll get a copy of him in the Shadow lane, and then you get the original version. I do think if you unsummon him or use Night to Remember, he summons himself back to the other lane and that doesn't duplicate him. Or if your opponent tries to unsummon him back to your hand, he goes to the other lane and he's silenced. We'll have to experiment and see how that works. Attune Dremora, 5 cost 4/5. Become Hand of Dagoth. Sorry, summon. Gain all keywords friendly creatures have. Very nice if you've got your Oblivion Gate high enough that it's functioning as a Mundus Stone for you. Bedlam. Put 2 1/1 scamps into your hand. It'll be decent in an invade deck. That's not one that combos well with Mushroom Tower. Blood Crazed Daedroth. 3 cost 3/2. Summon. Draw a card if there is a wounded creature in this lane. I think it'll work in self-harm decks. There's always a wounded creature for you to draw from. And if you're actually playing a self-harm invade deck, you can get the stats buffed. Clanfear Runt. Dremora Channeler. Very nice at countering aggro. 3 cost 2/2 Prophecy. Summon, you gain health equal to power plus health. It's nice. If you've buffed it or get buffs from your gate, getting up to 6 health when you play a 2 cost card, not bad. You'd play it as a 2 cost 3/3, gain 6 health. Yeah, it's really good. Kynreave Champion. Oh. If you are aggro, this is a must craft. 4 cost 4/3. Whenever Kynreave takes damage, it deals that much damage to your opponent. So if they trade into it with a 6 attack body, they take 6 damage to the face. Is cool. Maruna's Dagon's MDF. Maroon's Dagon's Flare. 3 cost 2/5. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to another friendly creature and give it +2/+0. It is time. This card means it is time for the return of the Brassy Boys. We're going to get a Brassy Boys deck in for one of our recordings here. And yeah, just start of your turn, summon another Brassilist, make this one into a 4/1. Ooh, I cannot wait. The card we revealed, MDS, 4 cost 3/6, Breakthrough Drain. Very good in an invade-focused deck, also helps stave off aggro extremely well. Mythic Dawn Informer, We'll see how this random Daedra always keeps playing out. Not the worst, not the greatest, not the worst, not great, not terrible. Get it in Arena if you can. Does trade with Fighters Guild Recruit and some of the 2-drops. So potentially has some useful in a control mirror. Siege Crawler, I'll probably play it in Lich's Ascension. Otherwise, it's pretty bad. And by pretty bad, I mean it's a nerf to Barrelzar's Tinkering. It's a do-nothing 11. Meh. But it is a 15/15 with Breakthrough. Put Swift Strike on that and you good. Sunken One, Daedra plus Atronach, 7 cost 5/7 with Ward. East Empire Crafter that. Easy. Zivali Warlord, 4 cost 3/3 charge guard. Great in a invade deck. Not as good as Cradle Crush. Not Cradle Crush. Candlehearth Brawler in a non-invade deck. Bitterfish Witch. The start of the Gobos, and we're almost done. We'll probably find some use in Banelord being a prophecy Give a creature -1/-1. Little bit of stats. Bloody Hand Chef. It's almost like Bethesda saw Banelord and said, you know what? Let's give it a help. Whenever you reduce an enemy creature's power or health with any effect, Bloody Hand Chef gains that much power or health. Yep, I'm excited for that. I'm going to create my 220 with Banelord. Possibly put in like a Ring of Imaginary Might. Maybe see if we can get like an OTK combo going. I'm very content with this card. They're giving Gobos the gas that they need. 10 out of 10 will play with Banelord. 6 out of 10 likely to play with Banelord. Dust Eater Skirmisher? Maybe. Good in a Gobbo deck. I might find room for it in Banelord. 1-drop 2/1 is not that great for Banelord, though. 3-Feathered Warchief? Yeah, this is going into Banelord. 10 out of 10 will play in Banelord. Oh wait, it's basically a mini Banelord. And that's it. So, that was our quick rundown of the various cards. If you have anything to say, put it in the comments below. I have 3 or 4 concept decks that we're going to be taking a look at, and hopefully I'll be recording either tomorrow or Wednesday once we get to recording part of the day. Get a bunch of these decks up for you guys to see. I'm really excited for the expansion. I like the new mechanic. I like the new cards. I like the support that they've given for existing archetypes. And I'm excited to see what some of these look like in Premium. Guys, I will see you on the ladder. Stay hydrated, and best of vibes.